It's hidden under the table because they know it's like, not supposed to happen.
No, we're not like crack addicts where we got to get a hit on our phone. We're like, no, like, and so they didn't really argue about that.
Down low. We're better than that. All right.
Who knows what's going to come out of my mouth?
That's why I have it going.
Snowing in northern Indiana.
Don't be dumb. So for 2021 for our family.
Well, this is really hard to say in the midst of parent.
No, it's not.
I'm a mom, you're a dad.
When you have kids, you're never alone. Don't waste your parenting experience by feeling guilty and bad about yourself sometimes. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Parenting is hard. That's it.
Welcome to the Living Room Sessions, episode number 2. And quite honestly, I'm just gonna be honest with you, kind of like take 2. I literally forgot to hit record on the audio, and it's good.
10 minutes in, we're having a conversation.
It's all good.
With
yes,
it's great.
Yeah, and 10 minutes in, we're like, I said, like, holy cow, I did not hit record, and so I'm checking. It's recording. We're good. We're good. I feel like the last couple weeks. Tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like the last couple weeks have just been busier than what they have been. We're in March, right? I feel like March has been a pretty busy month.
Well, I think it's busy because our daughter's schedule is busy. Work has been busy.
Yeah.
There's lots of things.
Lots
with
of
the senior, so it's all the last of everything.
True. So everything feels kind of heavy. Not heavy, but like weighty.
Significant.
More significant. Yeah, like senior night.
It might be the last time we...
Exactly. Like senior night for high school dance. And we went to Indy last weekend for studio dance. So like the second to last dance for that. And this weekend coming up, we've got the last studio competition dance. So all the things. It's been super busy. And busy's not bad. Actually, I'm hoping that April is just as busy because our daughter she's got a video audition that we're recording this week. So hopefully she gets to the next level, and then we're going to Virginia for the second step of that audition. And so busy's not bad.
Yeah, you'll never hear us, more than likely you'll never hear us say it's bad to be busy.
We're never going to complain. Have we ever complained?
You hear people say, how are you? And they're like, busy. Yeah, that's fun for us.
Yeah.
But because of busyness, we want to be super intentional about the time we have together, because business can be a distraction and keep us from being focused on what we should be.
For sure. And so that kind of leads into like what we want to talk about today in this episode number 2 of the Living Room Sessions, is how can you have quality time as a family when you're super busy.
Yeah, that's right.
When you're super busy, when you have kids that are in athletics and sports,
or music
or art or drama, theater, like you're traveling to like all different areas of what feels like the globe. And for some people, quite possibly the United States and the globe.
Right.
But how do you have that quality time? And so we thought to ourselves, well, this is probably a applicable topic for many different people. It was something that we had to think through, and that we kind of just fell, like some of it we just kind of like stumbled and like fell into our rhythm. Like it just was. And so as we're thinking about like some of the things that we put into place, like what are like, because Carter was in soccer, right? Our busyness started when he was 5 or 6, and then we tried to get him into baseball, and his last name is Ruth, so I really wanted him to play baseball, and he chose soccer. It still hurts, still painful a little bit, but he was in soccer.
It was
because baseball for little kids
is boring.
Baseball's
all boring,
excruciatingly boring. T-ball, they're playing in the dirt. It's like you can't coach them. Soccer is much better.
At least they're running the whole time.
There's action of some sort. Morgan tried to play soccer.
She did, but she was doing flips and dances all around the group running with the ball.
Yeah. So the ball was going this way, and there's Morgan doing flips, cartwheels
down the field,
around the ball. And so we thought, probably not soccer. Let's do dance. Let's do dance for Morgan.
Right.
She's always dancing. Still, she'd
be 2 and just like
doing flips in the grocery store by people. People were like,
yeah,
calm down. She's fine. She's fine. So for us, we had to think about, stumble into some of it by default, because that's just the way life was. Yeah. Of what our life looked like in that time, to be able to have time together, quality time together. And we're not saying that busyness is bad. Right. We're never saying busyness is bad. It's just the fact of where we live and what we live in. And it's not ever that we're going to have balance, because we don't believe that
doesn't exist.
Balance doesn't exist. It is what it is. There are more than not rhythms that happen in your life, more times than not, just naturally.
Right.
And sometimes we're just catching up to those rhythms, and we're realizing what those rhythms are, and how can we create space within that rhythm, use those rhythms to be able to have quality time with our kids and our family and everybody together. And so as you look back, as you think back, what are some of the things that we did to be able to have that time together?
So one of the things that I just thought of was that we asked our kids to pick one sport, and they could try different things, but they each got to do one thing at a time, or one activity.
Yeah.
So if they were doing Girl Scouts, they did Girl Scouts.
Yep.
And then the next semester they could try gymnastics or dance or whatever. And that kept us from going in too many divided places and being too busy. But one of the things that was consistent from day one is that we have been intentional about having dinner together every night. And so sometimes that means we're eating at 9:00 at night. And I get that people are like, I can't wait till 9:00 to eat. I get it. Eat a snack in the afternoon.
It's hard to eat a heavy dinner at 10:00 and be like, oh, and you're just sitting there and you're like, we're not going to do any activity for any of this to burn off.
Right.
It is what it is.
But when the kids are in middle school and high school, their activities are in the evenings. And so your choices are eating at 5 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. And for us, we didn't want to just all eat our own dinner and not sit together, because they come home energized from whatever practice or activity they're in, and they will actually sit and talk with you at the dinner table. And so we use that opportunity super intentionally to not just eat together, but to share how our days are, the highs, the lows. We would pray together every night. There's no phones at our dinner table. And so that was just something that, like, our kids know to this day, like, we eat dinner together. You don't just grab your plate and go eat it in your room or somewhere else. Like, we're doing this together.
Right. And one kid's 20 years old and the other one just turned 18, and they come to the table ready to sit down, talk and pray. They don't, like, there's only been a handful of times where we're like, why?
Why's your phone under?
Yeah, exactly. Why?
But it's hidden under the table because they know it's like, not supposed to happen.
No, we're not like crack addicts where we got to get a hit at our phone. We're like, no, like, and so they didn't really argue about that. And if they had argued about that, you'd be like, I don't care. Get rid of your phone. We're the parent. You're the kid. Go.
Well, and we've done some fun things with dinner too. Like, we've let them pick the menus.
For sure.
Sometimes we've let them make the food. Sometimes when they were younger, elementary age.
Yep.
And then we have another fun tradition that we just accidentally stumbled upon.
Right.
Which we should do another episode where it's all about
just traditions.
Because that is super fun in our family.
Yes.
But what is the other fun little dinner tradition that we've had?
I happen to have it right here.
Oh.
Yeah. It is called, we're super creative. It is called the chipped plate tradition. If you can tell, there's an area of the plate where it's chipped. And so we started this when they were
elementary school.
Little kids, elementary school. Yeah.
And obviously the plate broke at one point.
Young. Yeah.
We were putting it in and out of the dishwasher or something.
We didn't even get mad at it. Like, sometimes we get like frustrated. We get frustrated at stupid things all the time.
We never get frustrated.
This time I don't, like, again, it
is what it is.
Yes.
So we made it fun that when we set the table, we would intentionally give the chip plate to somebody. And if they had the chip plate, then
everybody, well, I say everybody like there's 15 people. but everybody,
Their friends would come over and want the chip
Absolutely.
plate too.
Yes.
So this became a thing.
it's a thing that everybody knew. And so, yeah, so even their friends, if they came over, whoever had the chip plate, each and every other person had to say something kind,
Encouraging that they appreciated about them.
not
So
nice,
like,
kind.
I love how you are funny, or I love how hard you worked at this.
Yeah.
Or just encouragement to whoever got the chip plate got the encouragement.
Yeah, and
so,
it had to be intentional encouragement, not like, oh, I like your clothes. Nah, that's not about the kid or me or
Right.
whatever. It's like super intentional, kind statements about their identity.
and mostly it was random when we'd pull it out, but we're like, who had it last?
Yeah.
Try to make sure the same person didn't keep getting it. Or if somebody was having a down day, sometimes we'd intentionally give them the chip plate because we
Yeah.
just knew they needed extra encouragement.
Yeah.
And so that was a daily occurrence in our house. Maybe not every day, because sometimes it'd be in the dishwasher, that plate.
Yeah.
But it was just something that we did through elementary and even their high school. Now we still have dinner together every night, but it's 3 of us because Carter's away at college. When he's
Right.
home, though, we're still doing dinner.
Yeah,
We'll have to break the chip plate back out when he comes home again, because
we haven't used
we
it in a while.
only use it when the whole family is
Yep.
there. It's not just something we do with 3 of us for
No.
whatever reason.
Yep.
So
Maybe
that
we
was-
should, our vacations, maybe we should start bringing it on vacations now that people are starting to leave our house.
maybe.
Like Carter's gone most of the
Yeah.
time. Anyway, sorry.
Or we could just we're old enough now just to give encouragement without
I
a
want,
plate.
I want the chip plate. I like tradition.
It was good though. It taught our kids, one, they received affirmation and
Yep.
encouragement when they needed it, but it also taught them how to give that.
Yep.
And again, how to pray at the table and how to be focused. We're not having our phones.
Yep.
And again, even if it was 9:00 at night, it was an opportunity for us to really connect with each other, and just something that we were intentional about. There's other things we've done that we've been super intentional about too.
Yeah.
Like even the summer with Carter being away at school, we did a Bible study.
Yep.
Circle Maker, was that what we did?
I think it was called. Yeah, I think
It was Mark Batterson's
Yeah.
book, and we studied it together as a
Yep.
family. And we're trying to do more of that kind of thing now that they're getting older.
especially as older, they can start like it's their attention span is a little bit like deeper. Middle school attention spans are like but when they're older, obviously like it's helpful for them to be able to like think more deeply, have more like intentional conversations about scripture, and quite frankly, some of the content within the Bible can be hard to understand.
Right. And we weren't doing devotions every day
No.
as a family. That's awesome if you guys can fit that in.
Yeah.
We did not do that. We did it once a week.
Yeah.
And so it was like they knew what they needed to read. We would sit down a lot of times Sunday evening, sometimes another night of the week, and
Yeah.
we would just talk through what we had read. When they
Sometimes
were
it
little,
was by the fire out at night. If it was,
that's
like,
true. We
nice out.
did bonfires
Yeah.
and did that. When they were little, we had to memorize verses.
Yeah.
Sometimes they were verses that we all needed to memorize because we were struggling with something in our
No, we always treated each other really with warm and fuzzy
But
kindness.
sometimes it was us that needed to memorize it. So we're all
No.
memorizing it.
No, it's not true.
But that helps with the busyness, is
It
just
does.
to plan out. Like we plan out the intentionality of going to practice every
Yeah.
day and all the other things. We fill the schedule with all the other things.
Yeah.
But for us, like church wasn't an option. And there's a lot of people that could say, well, I don't want to force my kid to go to church because then they won't want to go. Well, it's just what we did as a family from
Yeah.
day one. We go to church. This is what we do. We eat dinner together.
Yep.
These are just our family values of things that we did together to be intentional during the busyness. Now I get it. During travel sports, there were times where we're
For
gone
sure.
on a Sunday and we didn't go to church.
Right.
We're not trying to be legalistic about it.
No.
But we certainly were not saying, oh, we're so tired, let's sleep in on Sunday.
Yeah.
And again, that's no judgment to anybody else. It was just we predetermined the things we were going to do to be intentional in the busyness of life.
Yeah, because I've had conversations with dads who've said that they don't want to make their kids go to church because they're scared that they're not going to be friends with their kids later in life. And it's like, well, I think that's a deeper issue to talk about than just making them go to
Mhm.
church. But for us, it just from day one, they were born and then they were in church.
Well, I'm in church youth group.
Yeah.
So like they're doing that. Like faith has to be the foundation. And
For sure.
yes, in our home. And I get it. Like if you're in travel sports, it makes it sometimes challenging to do all the things. But we put them in environments where it helped, because there's nothing like we say something to our kids and they hear it. But Pastor Ryan says something to our kids,
and they listen.
All of a sudden,
They listen.
Ryan said something brilliant.
Really? Really?
And it is brilliant. I'm not making fun of Ryan.
Love Ryan.
We're just saying that, like, your kids need other adult leaders who are speaking life into them. And so in the busyness of it all, we still tried to, as much as possible, prioritize church, youth group, camps, things like that, and those environments.
We brought them along with us.
That's right.
As well.
And to serve too.
Yeah,
so,
to serve.
Like, how do we serve together as a family? I know we're all over the place. We're just trying to throw a bunch of ideas your way to maybe help you think about what does that look like in your home and your life. And so, like, what are the things that you can be intentional about? Maybe it's not dinners because you don't want to stay up till 10 o'clock at night. I'd still challenge you to have some type of check-in every day with your kids.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like a check-in. And when you're eating food, it just feels natural.
Yeah.
But like, what are the things that you're super intentional about? And how do you lay faith as the foundation in your home? So it doesn't feel like it's just one more activity in the middle of the 16 other activities.
Right. Because again, busyness isn't bad, but we just had a conversation with somebody who, like, they're looking at a schedule coming up where half of them are going to be in one area of the country, and another half is going to be somewhere else. And that's just like, sometimes that's just life.
Right.
That's just the way it is. And you work in that, but that you don't want that to be, we never wanted that, because we had times where Carter and I were at soccer, and then we're going to be at a dance competition. And sometimes we could drive midway into that and go to the dance late. And other times we couldn't, but we never wanted that to be like the norm.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we utilized, like, if there's a soccer game, the whole family went.
Yeah.
And Morgan would be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to watch another soccer game. Great. We're doing this as a family. So if we're going to do all these extra activities, as much as possible, we all went to them, unless we were divided like that up.
Yep.
But we tried as much as possible to, like, Carter even was home last weekend from college.
Yep.
And he went to Morgan's dance competition. Is that his favorite thing? No.
Nope.
He'll say, I don't mind watching Morgan dance. It's the hours of sitting there watching random strangers do weird dances that it's just not fun for him. I get it. But we're going to do this together as a family, because we get to see each other then win. We get to see each other struggle. We get to see the highs, the lows, and we get to talk about it together.
And then we make time for a meal together during those moments of the weekend. So
I think the key is just intentionality. So we gave a few examples. We are not experts. There's so much more we could have and should have probably done.
For sure, we made mistakes.
And everybody's figuring it out while they're doing it. But I think being super intentional about faith spaces and family time together in the busyness of everything else.
Yeah, we don't have all the answers. We're not the experts. And in fact, it's like, you might be watching thinking, well, we did this and it's the greatest thing ever, and we didn't do that and we missed it. And so like, if there are things that you've done and you're watching, like, throw it in the comments so that we all can learn together. Yeah,
that's right.
Like, we can, like, this is hopefully this is more of a community than it is just us talking at people. And it's like, here's our experience. Tell us your experience in the comments, and then we can all, like, become better, different, more intentional, get more ideas or whatever. Because we're fairly creative. We created the chip plate.
We created it.
No, it just happened. That's my point. Like, we're not that creative.
But that chip plate was talked about in the neighborhood. People would want to stay for dinner because they wanted the chip plate. Yeah. So, like, our kids must have went and talked about it. And so we took something and made it a bigger deal than it was. And so what are areas in your life, in your home, your families that you could be more intentional about? And that's really just, I would just encourage everybody to ask God, like, what are those? Give us eyes to see ways to be more intentional in the busyness, which isn't bad, because I think it's a full life. I don't like people saying, I'm so busy. No, we just have a full life.
It's a full life.
And we're going to be super intentional in those spaces.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And God, like, if you're seeking God and speaking Jesus over your family, like, he's going to be faithful to give you those ideas and moments of clarity to where you're like, oh no, we're really busy right now, but we can carve out this space because God allowed us to see this time that we could do that. And so again, it's that connectedness, like you said, with God the Father and the Holy Spirit speaking to us, and Jesus and all that in the midst, at the foundation, so that we can stay focused and intentional with our kids and our family.
Yeah.
So
that's good. And then soon we're not going to be busy, so that'll be a different episode.
I don't even.
Both kids will be in college, and then we'll be like, oh, how are we intentional with college age kids? Or
Well, again,
so it will be interesting.
Yes.
So you'll get to go along the journey with us as we're learning what works, what doesn't work. We'll be going to random kids activities because we just miss going to sporting events. I don't know.
not going to dance, not
No,
random
not
dance.
watching.
No,
We
we're
have
done.
friends,
Yes.
kids who are still
Yeah, we can. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But not randos. Not at all. So,
that sounds bad.
yeah, no. Anything else with this quality time intentionality that you can think of that?
I mean, there's probably more. We didn't come up with a list because we wanted just this to be like a conversation that we're sitting across from the table having. So
Yeah.
it may have felt a little like, here's not 3 points of what you can do. That's not what we did. That's not how we roll.
That's not.
But I think, again, just asking God, how do I be intentional about family time? What does that look like in our home? And I think meal times are super important.
Yep.
I think traveling together. When they're younger and you're driving them to their activities,
Just thought about that.
using moments in the car with them so that they're not even sitting on their phone scrolling, but you're actually talking. How was your day? What was your highlight?
Yeah. For sure. And all, I mean, we started this early, and so it didn't really feel weird. Like it was just built in, like it was like baked into their rhythm of life as they were growing up. For some people, they might be in the middle of like the kids might be 15
right,
or
and that's
13,
challenging.
and they haven't had the opportunity, they haven't taken the opportunity to like be intentional or have those conversations. And it can feel weird. It can feel weird, and that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, someday we should talk about digital and technology and all that, because we were not ones, and I know a lot of people do this is no slam, but we didn't give our kids a certain amount of screen time.
No.
It was more teaching them how to properly use their phone.
Yeah.
Like when you're with people, your phone's away.
Yeah.
Like when we're with another family at their house, put your phone away. We're not sitting on our phone with each other. We're not sitting at a restaurant on our phones with each other or a dinner table. And so it was really less about, I get 2 hours a day or 3 or 4 hours a day. And it was more, now they did have screen time when they were little, when they came home from like school watching TV and stuff. But when we gave them phones, it was more learning how to use it in the real world. Yeah. Not controlling how many minutes they get.
Because our kids, once they ran out of minutes, they'd be fiending for it.
Well, we've been at friends' house. We're like, 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes. Yeah. And it's like, let's just teach them how to use their phones properly. And that may be minutes for you. I'm just saying for us, it was, we don't use our phones in these spaces. Yeah. We're going to be fully attentive. So even in the car, like, and we all can do it. Like when you're traveling, it's a little different. I'm not talking about trips, but when you're to and from like activities or practices, like we kind of like, well, no, we're using the space to chat with each other. Yep. And again, as soon as you pick them up after a practice, they talk nonstop the whole way home.
Unless they had a really bad practice and they're really emotional and they just want to sit and just like
that too.
Not cry. But
then you're sitting in that hard space with them.
Correct. You get to experience that.
Again, ideas all over the place. Take what you want, but it's really for us about being super intentional with the time that we have and not just like existing together, but being
for sure. And again, if you're in the middle of kid stuff now and they're older, it's gonna feel weird to like, hey, we're gonna start having conversations in the car, or hey, let's start talking at dinner, and we're not gonna have our phones. And
they might roll their eyes.
I push back, like, and I always roll my eyes back, and my kids be like, listen, we're not doing that. Like, but it'll feel weird, and that's okay. You just gotta like push through that. And again, it's asking God for help, asking God to move and teach everybody. And as the parent, it's our job to like push through the hard stuff, the weird stuff, the uncomfortable stuff, and take steps, and it will become not weird at some point.
And maybe there's a way to make it more fun too, like a chip plate or something else that makes it less about restrictions and rules and more an opportunity to do something fun together.
For sure.
So,
anything else?
I'm sure, and hopefully you followed along a little that, but that's how our brains work.
Exactly right, and we're good with that. We're good with that.
So if this helped you, great.
Yep. Give it a like.
But feel free to write other ideas in there because we all can continue to learn and help each other. So
love it. Again, Give it a like, subscribe if you would, share it. This is all like stuff I don't want to say, but I feel like I should say.
We have to say that's your stuff
For sure. At the end, absolutely. Again, I love talking to you. The conversations. This is fun. I hope other people laugh with us, and we'll do it again.
Or at us.
Or at us. Either way. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. No, I know. I know. It's at me. It's okay. It's okay. We'll do this again next month. April is almost here. Let's go. Good.
Yep.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.